Hi everyone, it's Latin Roses. I have ITP. ITP stands for Idiopathic Thrombocytopenia Purpura. It's a long word, ITP for short. It's basically people that have low blood platelets. And normal range is between 140 to 300 something. And I was at a 7 when I was diagnosed. I woke up with big giant bruises all over my arms and legs. It looks like somebody actually beat me up, and they were unexplained. And I don't know why, but I didn't go to the doctor right away, and they weren't going away after a couple weeks. After a couple weeks, I broke out with some pink spots all over my neck and chest and my legs. So that prompted me to say, this is serious and I better go seek medical attention. Blood test, they discovered I had ITP. I had to go in for a blood transfusion. So a lot of the treatment for ITP, as a lot of you may know who are watching this, is blood transfusion. Sometimes we have to have our spleen removed and start a first course treatment, corticosteroids like prednisone, which I was on. Prednisone, I'm grateful to prednisone. It saved my life. I blew up like a blowfish. I had some very terrible side effects, but I'm still glad and grateful I was on prednisone. And I was on prednisone for about a year. Then I joined a ITP support group online. And I noticed that some people were sharing stories, not only their treatments and what they do and what they've gone through. People talked about going into remission. So I was really curious about that, because as with most autoimmune disorders, doctors are always saying they don't know the root cause. And I always thought something has to trigger it. So I just asked the question to my group one day, for those of you who went into remission, what did you do? Or what treatment did you use? What do you think got you into remission? So I got a lot of answers. A lot of people mentioned splenectomy, where they remove your spleen. Some people were talking about types of drugs that they were using. They would put on different treatments that got them into remission. And only one lady mentioned a natural treatment. Actually, there was two ladies. One lady said she used papaya extract, which I tried. It did work for a couple months. It was raising my blood platelets, and then they started crashing and dropping again. So that might be something that could help somebody out there. That's why I'm sharing that, but it really wasn't that effective long term for me. One lady did mention that she started a treatment of vitamin C, and she had sent me a study that she found online, which since when I've gone to check, it looks like it may have been scrubbed. Can't find it anymore. But I did read it. It said 7 of 11 ITP patients put on 1,200 milligrams a day of vitamin C. 7 of the 11 went into remission. I didn't finish to read what happened to the other ones that didn't go into remission. I was just too excited that I had that information. And I said, vitamin C is fairly cheap and it's non-invasive. It seems to be natural. I have nothing to lose but to try it. So I started taking it faithfully every day, 1,200 milligrams, sometimes a little bit more. And I would say within 2 months, I started to see my blood platelets going up and up and up. And eventually, after 6 months, reduced my prednisone intake until I was down to nothing. So I literally have been in remission. Yes, I said remission, and remission is possible with ITP. This might not work for everybody, but I thought, hey, if it worked for me, it's possible it could work for somebody else. I have all the respect in the world for Western medicine and what it can do. I'm so grateful I was able to have blood transfusions and use prednisone to help me until I could find a way out. I'm just sharing this in hopes that it might be able to help somebody else, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not claiming this will work for everybody, but I just wanted to put it out there in case it can help somebody else. Other things I did besides taking the vitamin C that I really feel helped me get into remission. Additionally, I did more research on how food affects your platelets. So I learned that away from red fruit like strawberries and replacing them with like blueberries was very helpful. Staying away from caffeine. Caffeine will also help lower your blood platelet count. And if I have too much of it, because I do love chocolate milk once in a while with some almond milk, or if I have a cappuccino once in a great while, I find that I feel weak and I feel terrible if I have too much caffeine back to back. So I really had to watch my caffeine intake, and I still do. I also discovered if I exercised every day, that also helped my platelets go higher. But the real key takeaway, what I learned, I was really resistant to wanting to go into a gym and do weight training. But when I started going this year to do some weight training, my blood platelet count went up even higher. Right now I hover in the triple digits, usually around 176, 180, which I'm happy with. I wish I was in the 300 range, but I'm satisfied that I'm off prednisone, and I've been able to keep my blood platelets pretty much on my own using these techniques with vitamin C, exercise, and eating healthier choices, and lowering my caffeine intake. So if you guys would like to know more about my journey and what I did, let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions for me, also leave them in the comments below, or you can also DM me on Instagram at Latin Roses. And as always, I wish you love, peace, and joy.